Man, y'all know what time it is. T-Law got the eyes of Lee Van Cleef when he go in that field.
Checks it down underneath. That's a crossing route to Christian Kirk. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Christian Kirk to the goal line. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
They made a major mistake when they made T-Law go to the spirit of the sky, to the oracle of the saber-toothed tiger, and the saber-toothed tiger now held the scepter in his hand, and he been to put every critic to rest. Man, last night I done marinated 2 turkeys. I got my cherry wood getting ready for my smoker. Just got off from work, off Pritchard Road. I'm going to bake me 2 Cornish hens. My special recipe, I call it a Mediterranean Cornish hen. I'm going to top it off with my homemade Long Island iced tea. And I'm only going to top it off with 1 red top of Coca-Cola. The Maxwell House coffee will live on forever. Duval!
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome into Jaguars Today. Tony, I find there's something about the way Holiday says Duval, and I maybe have never quite noticed that. It's like when he stretches out the ball, like, y'all gonna answer? You know, it's kind of like almost he's beseeching you to give it right back to him. I don't know, something about that. We need to get Holiday on the program, Denmark. Well, what's up with the Holiday bat phone, man?
I called him. When was the last? Was it before the draft? And I was 0 for 3. So
all right,
we'll circle back
Holiday's
around.
a busy man. He's a working man. You know,
we got to see where he's working now.
He might be down by the Buc-ee's at any given time. Give me an update on that thing or whatever. But we'll love to have him back. Anyway, Tony, good morning. How are you? How are
Doing
things?
well. I'm good.
Schedule release day.
Yeah.
You got it circled on your calendar there, Tone, do you now, huh?
Not so much.
No.
I don't like circle it on the calendar. It is the big May event, so I appreciate it. You know, in the
Something to
NFL
talk about.
calendar, you know, so I'm looking forward to seeing whatever it's going to wind up being, but I am not desperately seeking out any whatever pieces of information might be out there about who they're going to be playing and when and all these different kinds of things. I am perfectly fine waiting until 8 o'clock tonight and seeing the whole schedule and reacting to it as it happens, right? Like I have no issue with waiting till that point.
Like if you like going down the rabbit hole, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just don't understand, you know, there's so much just flat out lying, right? We're just talking about Gabe Davis, right? Yeah. I saw a headline, Gabe Davis going to visit the Giants. There was somebody, you know, fake profile the other day putting out Gabe Davis had signed with the Giants. And the next thing you know, he's visiting the 49ers. And then the next thing you know, he's visiting the Giants.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, I guess people click on it and that's all they're looking for. And they don't care or about their reputation or whatever, or people are like, once I find an account has posted something deliberately false, done. It's blocked. I'll never see that account again. I don't know why you wouldn't treat it that way, but people, you know, these people think that are insiders claiming the Jags are going to do this, Jags are going to do that. You know who's really got scoop. And I'm not saying I've got scoop. I don't try to break news. That's not my job. My job is here to discuss the news that others are breaking, among other things. But Sportskeeda, we like Sportskeeda because we like Tony Pauline, right? I love Tony Pauline. Great guy. He works for Sportskeeda. They put out a tweet about the NFL schedule today, which was kind of interesting. They claimed the whole first week schedule leaked, and I'm not buying it, and many others aren't either. They had the Jags playing at Arizona at 4 o'clock. Could the Jags be playing Arizona week 1? I don't know.
No idea.
Possibly, right? But
they're going to play Arizona at some point.
Apparently, some of these games have already been disputed that are on here, but it's all nice, official looking. It comes from their official account, which gives it an air of legitimacy because they are a legitimate outlet, which is interesting. Who knows what their source is? Where did this leak from? It leaked. What does that mean exactly? Like, did all the different teams leak that week 1 information to you? Did somebody just have a screenshot of week 1? And how does that leak? Did they just whisper it to you? Did they? I honestly, I don't understand how this whole process is supposed to take place. I'm not saying a local reporter can't get intel on the local team from time to time and get a scoop on those kind of things.
Sure.
But every year we get to this point and people are throwing out just red herrings that are fake and they get clicks and people look, in case it's real, let's take a look and see what it says.
Like when you release something and it says, I got the full week 1 schedule in the NFL, right? Like people are going to be like, well, okay. Like,
let's take a look. And this is not just rando person made it up. They've got their own account. Right. You know, they've got a website.
Like that kind of thing. Like I generally... Again, I'm happy to wait till 8 o'clock tonight, and the schedule's going to be what it's going to be. And whatever anyone has set up until then, who cares what anyone has said about what the schedule might be, what they're hearing it could be, all these different, none of those things matter because the schedule's going to come out tonight at 8. But obviously, everyone kind of pays attention to it for a couple of days here leading into the actual schedule release. The NFL is releasing a couple games at a time, essentially, right? Like they released the entire international schedule yesterday outside of the opponent for the Chargers week 1 down there in Sao Paulo. So they're going to release that today at some point in time. I did see Dilla, who whatever info he has, right? Like, and I don't know where he gets it, where he doesn't get it from, but I have seen him in the last hour saying that he's heard rumors about Monday Night Football being against Kansas City here.
Interesting.
Right? Which, okay. That'd be fun, but I can wait till 8 o'clock tonight to find out whether or not that's going to happen.
Well, we may get our wish, what we were talking about like a week ago. I want this team to get off to a fast start. If you're going to handpick a home opponent for week 1, Carolina Panthers seem like as good a one to serve up as any. And Jordan Schultz has put out there just in the last 5 minutes that Travis Hunter will make his NFL debut with the Jags at home in week 1 against Bryce Young and the Panthers.
Yeah, Dilla kind of teased that about an hour ago, too. Like, he just put up a picture of the Panther, and I think it may have been in response to all the week 1 rumors that have been going on. Like, it's unclear exactly what he was trying to say, but it does sound like Dilla was on that. So maybe he's on Monday Night Football against the Chiefs, too. I don't know.
Yeah, Jay Clemens, who I think is based out of Chicago, right? Anyway, he's been posting all these NFL schedule leaks from this site called Nerding on NFL Nerd, right? And they had that one. They had Carolina at Jacksonville week 1. But in terms of the Sportskeeda one, which was put out last night, he reacted to that, according to this, at like 2 in the morning. Right? But congratulations for getting plenty of frivolous engagement on a tweet that was destined to be wrong within the first 5 matchups. Only a select few get advanced access to the actual schedule release, and all of them sign high-level NDAs, and none work for Sportskeeda. Do they all sign high-level NDAs? Does everyone working in the graphics department, is everyone putting together those videos that are going to come out tonight, the schedule release videos that the Jags did such a great job on? The Chargers are well known with their social media team for being very entertaining in that capacity. Those things don't happen overnight.
They're prepared.
Right? So everyone who's working on that signed a high-level NDA?
Yeah, I can tell you that is not a fact.
Can you factually tell me that's not a fact? Do you know that's not a fact?
No, but I can
Or do you
tell
feel that's not a fact?
Yeah, I feel like it's just, hey, here's the other teams, make your video, go.
My opinion is that is not a fact, all right? So you're right. Like here, I think they do keep it, within the smallest circle as possible, and they're not supposed to get out. But how else does it get out? Somebody's leaking it. High-level NDAs. High-level NDA. I don't know. That just
so
seems...
what's a low-level NDA?
Right. Like a low-level NDA is, I guess,
Pinky promise.
That's awesome. I was thinking more like low-level NDA, your penalty is $10,000. High-level NDA, it's like $1 million. Right, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the line. Maybe that's it. All right. Graphics team, pinkies up. Let's go. Okay, we're going to do a group pinky promise here. I'm not going to come around individually. Just put your pinky up. By holding up your pinky, you agree to terms of this low-level NDA.
It doesn't leave this room.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Jags, Panthers, week 1. Here's the thing, Tone. You better damn well win your opener then, buddy, because that's one of the, based on last year's perception, one of the softest games on the schedule. Now, who else is thinking that? The Carolina Panthers are thinking that as well. And we're going to have a little something for them when they come down here for the big cat fight.
Yeah.
Duval.
Yeah, I thought Carolina as kind of the potential whenever they were going to be playing them, and you mentioned them when we talked about it earlier, like the idea of them being the home opener to open up the season.
Yeah.
They played their best football at the end of the year last year.
They did.
Right? Like they were different than kind of the picture that you might have had of Carolina in September, October last year. For what Bryce Young played all right by the time they got to the end of the year. I think it makes sense for Carolina to be the team that you circle, but I don't look at Carolina and see them as a pushover necessarily.
It's
but
the NFL, man.
Right, the
There's
NFL
no
doesn't have a bunch of them, but every now and then there is a team that you look at them and going into the season, you're like, here are the 2 or 3 teams I expect to be competing for the number 1 pick, right, in the draft. Like, that's not uncommon to have that kind of thought. I don't have that at all with Carolina. Like, if they wind up winning 6, 7, 8 games this year, it wouldn't surprise me all that much.
No, but I don't know who else you look at on that schedule, and maybe the Jets. There are not too many more that you go, you could look at the Titans perhaps, right? But who knows what they're going to be with a brand new quarterback.
Would have loved to see the season open with them at home against the Colts or the Titans. That would have been my preferred opponent that week.
Get a division game out of the way and get Tennessee before the quarterback settles in.
Yeah.
Would be a nice way to do. Who knows? Maybe that's week 2, Tone. You never know.
Maybe.
We'll find out. But today's Chad and Sandy Real Estate question of the day is schedule related. We're all guessing, or maybe you're not. Maybe you have the inside scoop on it. But we're asking you today to predict the primetime games for the Jacksonville Jaguars, not just the week 1 game. We don't need you to, unless you think it's going to be in primetime, which doesn't appear it's going to be if this Jordan Schultz report is true. But who are the opponents that they're going to play in primetime this year, and when? Meaning not necessarily like week X, okay, but you can include that information if you want. More like they're going to play on a Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night, holiday, whatever the case may be. How do you see it fitting in for the Jags to get a primetime game or 2 or whatever you think it's going to be? So we'll talk about that today. The odds makers are already making predictions on the impact that Travis Hunter will make statistically as a rookie. We'll get into that today, Tony. Trey Hendrickson is interesting. The next 2 things here, they're kind of semi-related. Trey Hendrickson says he won't play under his current contract with the Bengals. He has had the most sacks over the last 2 years in the National Football League. Could we use that here? Look, we got some pretty good edge rushers. We've signed Agba, but would Trey Hendrickson upgrade the pass rush? I don't think there's any doubt he would. So what would be a path, and should the Jaguars go down that path to at least inquire about adding Trey Hendrickson? And the corollary of that is, how come nobody notices Trayvon Walker and what he has done in his young career? I get it. And we're guilty of the Aiden Hutchinson comparisons, but that's always going to happen based on where those 2 guys were drafted. Standing on his own 2 feet, Trayvon Walker's had a very good start to his NFL career, but it doesn't seem like too many people out there are noticing. So we'll get to all that and more coming up today. If you would like to be a part of the discussion in any capacity, 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Same number for the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can get in the YouTube virtual studio chat, post your thoughts, comments, questions there as well, or on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at 1010XL Denmark. It has begun. All right, here we go. Schedule, predictions, and more. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser. Professional, steadfast, deep thinkers.
Do not touch it. Don't touch me. Do not touch it. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Mornings on the drill.
It takes 2 opposing forces to cause friction. You're just doing your job.
On 1010XL.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Chelsea here from Renewal by Anderson. Before you invite family and friends over for summer fun, treat yourself and your home to new windows and doors from Renewal by Anderson. Renewal by Anderson has a great deal to get you started. We're excited to offer our Window of Opportunity Savings Event. Buy 2 windows or patio doors and get the third 60% off. Plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. License number CGC 1527613.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on 1010XL. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
New year, new club. This is Joe C., and I'm proud to be a member of Southampton. And with the popularity of golf, getting a tee time is tough. But with membership comes member privileges. Enjoy clubhouse dining, expanded practice area, focusing on all parts of your game. And right now, you can join with an annual commitment and get a $1,000 discount, plus $500 of Pro Shop credit. All the details are online at golfsouthampton.com or call 287-PLAY and make a tee time today at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Are you struggling with hair loss? At IHRS, we understand because we've been there too. We're dedicated to finding the best solution tailored just for you.
My hair looks great. It was thinning, and IHRS restored my hair.
It's now fuller, it's thicker, voluminous. It's made me feel great.
With the latest technology and FDA-approved laser therapy, PRP, and non-surgical hair addition, we offer guaranteed solutions for men and women.
With over 35 years of experience, IHRS found a hair restoration for us, and we can find one for you.
For me.
For me.
And me too.
Visit hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS. Get a free microscopic analysis and get to the root of your problem. This $395 analysis is yours for free. Call 904-777-4477 now.
Something big is coming, and 1010XL is about to reveal it. Join 1010XL all day Thursday for the big reveal. Delivered by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning, and Renewal by Anderson, Custom Windows and Doors.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y Summer Camps, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
This is Greg McGarity, President and CEO of the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. I'm here to share that the Gator Bowl is actually a year-round organization. We're known for the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl football game, which has been a Jacksonville staple for more than 80 years. Off the football field, the Gator Bowl is also host to the annual Florida State baseball game, a champion of local youth through Gator Bowl charities, and a strong networking organization of local individuals and companies through our membership. We're actually looking to Grow membership, which is an affordable, fun way for you to get involved and give back to our community. To learn more, visit GatorBowl.com for more information.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, a lot of Jaguar-related issues to get into as the NFL will drop the schedule for real tonight, and we'll find out if any of these rumors hold up for the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's no prize attached to that, although I'm collecting some prize materials. I've got stuff. We didn't really do any kind of draft contest. We got to come up with something where we can give away some Jag gear. It's cluttering up my my available space at the house. I got a lot of doodads, got a lot of T-shirts, got a lot of collectors, bottles, things like that I still need to clear out. So we'll come up with something along the way. But before we go any further, Denmark, are you staying red hot over there in Baldwin? Can we get
man, how much do you want to know?
Well, tell us.
What do you want to know, Mike? We got the banjo playing last night. The softball team, they got a nice win over Episcopal, 7-4. Game in the top of the seventh. Episcopal left. The bases loaded, and Baldwin's advanced to the regional final, baby. Woo! Woo!
Is that it? Is that the whole thing?
Baby.
Is that everything we got?
Red and white game for football is Friday. Spring football game next Thursday between Yulee and First Coast.
All right. That's why Tony's taking the week off so he can get prepared.
I got a whole week of prep for you.
He's ready to go. Can you get us good? Can we stand on the sideline with you?
Oh, I can make that happen, Mike.
At the spring game?
Do you want it to happen?
You
got to go all the way from north side from St. Augustine.
Well, now, look, I'm already up here. What time is the spring game?
Well, when the bus get there. That's the $1 million question. Maybe about 6 o'clock.
About 6 o'clock,
yeah, 6 o'clock.
Huh? All right, that's a little late for me, man, to be hanging around all day. I don't know all about that. I got to get home and hit my bucket of balls. So, how about this? I'll think about it.
Yeah, take a detour. Hit your bucket of balls somewhere else, Mike.
Yeah,
come on now.
We'll revisit that. I guess Fleming Island's got a range, right?
10-4, good buddy.
All right, there you go. Dylan Denmark, unprompted. I just wanted the Baldwin Sports that day, Tony. I didn't know. I didn't lean into it. Don't come at me, Baldwin people. All right? That's your boy from the west side right there. Proud Baldwin coach, Dylan Denmark. What can I tell? Yeah, all right. Tony, let's start in on Travis Hunter. Why not, right? We're going to start on Travis Hunter a lot this year. Dylan showed me some projections for him over at Underdog, which, by the way, you can't take advantage of here in the state of Florida, but that's okay. It kind of gives us a sense of what the markets think Travis Hunter is going to produce this year. You tell me, what is the better play, Tony? You can take an over or an under on any of these, okay, for Travis Hunter in his rookie campaign for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We start with 4.5 receiving touchdowns. Okay. So 5 or more, 4 or less. 1.5 defensive interceptions. So will he get 2? Or will you go under on that? And 749.5 receiving yards. So 750 and up, you play the over. You think it's going to be below that, you play the under. I saw on the original tweet that Underdog sent out, somebody said, smash the under on receiving yards. And then somebody said, take the over on receiving yards, easy investment. So what do you think? What's the easiest investment here in this whole thing? Or what hits your gut first?
Given that he is a receiver playing corner, I'll take the interceptions. At 1.5, the over.
The over. Okay, yeah. Explain your logic when you say because he's a receiver playing corner.
Because I do not question his ability to catch the football when it hits his hands.
Okay. Oh, I got you. All right.
as a cornerback, especially a rookie corner, when he's on the field, they're going to try him early. Like, I think he's going to get the football thrown at him.
That's a great
early
analysis.
And so 2 interceptions, I don't know how much higher I would go than that necessarily with him, but 2.
It does seem like a low bar. And I think what it is, it's leaning into the perception that he's not going to play much on defense, right? That he's going to be primarily a wide receiver who will be sprinkled into certain packages. And if you're only playing like red zone or what have you, and that's the perception. I don't know that that's necessarily going to be the final outcome.
No, I think it's pretty unlikely in my mind that that'll be the final outcome.
Give me a percentage of snaps. If I set the percentage of snaps for Travis Hunter on defense at 49.9%, you taking 50% or under 50%?
Over.
I am too. I don't know how far over.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not ready to say 80% of the defensive snaps and things like that. You're going to be out on certain occasions anyway in some goal line packages and things like that and short yardage and just, you know, it is the National Football League. I know he ran all over the place in Colorado and he did that at altitude in Boulder. I mean, you know, it's humid here, but I think he'll make the adjustment. Yeah. I thought the 4.5 receiving touchdowns was a very tempting number as well. I could absolutely see 5 or more in that category because we know he's going to be a full-time wide receiver or as close to a full-time wide receiver as you can get, not named Brian Thomas Jr. on this team. Again, we can't anticipate how it's going to go in the flow of any particular game, but I feel like that's a better number than the receiving yards number. Like, I have no idea. I mean, could Travis Hunter have 1,000 yards this rookie year? Yeah, he could. Could he catch a lot of short passes and, you know, maybe not have a super high yards per catch average right away and BTJ asserts himself as a true number one? That's possible as well. Dylan, what would you take here? Over under receiving TDs, interceptions, or receiving yards for Travis
The one
Hunter?
I like the most is the over on the receiving touchdowns. I feel the under on receiving yards. And by the way, when Vegas sets a line like this for over under wins on the season or the season total, they automatically want you to think, oh, these all going to hit the over. So I'd say under yards and interceptions.
Do they automatically? I thought the idea with Vegas is they're trying to get equal action on both sides.
Yeah, that is true. But most fans, when they see the line for their team, they usually think that it's going to go over.
Right, which is why, you know, with this much buzz around him, and maybe, you know, you have to be realistic, too, because this is a unique situation, and people don't know what the split's going to be in terms of playing time. That is what that interception number seems to indicate to me. Although, look, 2 interceptions as a rookie is not necessarily the most common feat either, right? I mean, he's still got to go out there and make that happen.
Sure. Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe they realize quickly this is a guy who's too dangerous to have the ball go in his area. Would it be crazy, Tone, to think that by midseason, the perception of the Jags is that the best corner on the team is Travis Hunter? I don't think it's crazy.
Not necessarily, no.
You know, I think it depends on the path he takes and how much opportunity he gets on that side of the ball. I think in terms of being a prospect, yeah, you would expect him to come in. If he were just focusing on corner, I would expect him to come in and be the number one corner on this football team because that's been his reputation. He was always a corner coming up. He's this guy who can just do this on the offensive side. On top of that, so Tony goes on the over 1.5 interceptions. Travis, Dylan and I like Travis Hunter and I both like over on the receiving TDs. Travis Hunter likes over on all these, by the way.
For sure.
Yeah. Way over. And that's the thing. Do we get caught up in our own guys? I hear what Dylan's saying. You know, Vegas can lean into that. You know, people do love to bet the favorites, right? There's no question about that. But they do try to make it, I think, attractive enough to get that action because they're getting 10% off the top. And if they even it out, that's a 10% profit on all bets made right there. There's no risk to the house. So
yeah, taking a look at the last couple of years, I'm going to check the yardage number here in just a moment as far as how many players have hit those numbers at the wide receiver position. But a touchdown specifically, last year there were 61 players that caught 5 or more touchdowns.
It's a lot.
In the NFL, and the year before, in 2023, it was 53. So
Okay.
it does seem like it's
Less than 2 per team.
Yeah, something like that.
Right? And if you figure Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be up around 10, something like that, then is there enough left to go around? Keeping in mind, though, Baker Mayfield going into last season, his career high in touchdown passes was 28 through 41 under Liam Cohen in the 1 year that they worked together.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's going to translate that way? I think you're hearing a lot of talk about how the Jags want to run the football to protect Trevor Lawrence. I don't think they drafted Travis Hunter, though, to go into a shell offensively and run the wishbone, right? I mean, you've got, as we've been talking about, a pair of guys that can grow into the best, I think ultimately can. Their ceiling is the best pair of receivers in the National Football League.
Yeah.
That's the ceiling. Will they get to the ceiling? Some guys you look at and you go, well, that's never going to be the best pair of receivers in the NFL. I don't say that about the Jags guys. I don't guarantee that they'll make it there, but they certainly have the potential.
The looking at the receiving yardage numbers now, it looks like that's about 30% less likely if you just look at the pure numbers of players that have done it. Last year it was 48 players that accomplished 750 or more receiving yards. In the year before it was 43.
So one and a half per team. So out of all the teams in the NFL, half the teams had one guy on average that had 750 yards. That doesn't seem like a super high total.
It doesn't.
Right? But yet, those are the numbers.
Tell you that.
The numbers are the numbers, right? And so half the teams in the NFL only had one guy on average. I wonder what the lowest, can you find what the lowest receiving yardage total is to lead a team? Is that
see if I can find it.
Tony's got a homework assignment now, man, because I don't know where I'd begin to. we're just talking about trying to Google double-digit sack seasons in the last 2 years, right? Because we know Trayvon Walker's there. Just to find an easy list of the guys. And artificial intelligence can be a great thing, great benefit, great addition to your research methods. It can also be an atrocity, like it was with that question. As it said, Trey Hendrickson had the most sacks in the last 2 years. Well, that's true. We didn't ask that.
Yeah.
It said Miles with 35, by the way. Myles Garrett also had a lot of sacks in that time period with 44. And then it said, and TJ Watt in that same time period. Dylan, want to guess how many they said TJ Watt had in the 2 year period that Trey Hendrickson had 35?
Ooh, I'll say 54.
201 and a half.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Yeah, 201 and a half, which would be like, I don't know, a record or something.
Never forget, Mason Graham at 395.40, according to AI.
He's just a fat kid with who can't keep his lunch down. Okay, that's let's make sure we understand what we're talking about when we refer to Mason Graham. Sorry, Mason. That's from your own fan base, not from me. All right, let's come back and let's talk about this defensive end position for the Jaguars, Tony. How well set up they are, and what would an infusion of Trey Hendrickson do for this team? No matter how unlikely you think it may be, what could you see happening if the Jags decided to be hyper aggressive and go after Trey Hendrickson of the Bengals? What would the cost be? What would the fit be here in Jacksonville? Let's discuss that on the other side. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. Should we do it?
Let's do this.
More Jaguars, more Gators, and more Jacksonville. 1010XL. Jack Sports Radio.
Need fresh and flavorful lunch? Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad in every bite. It's quick and delicious, so why wait? Come taste the best chicken salad today at Town Center, Durbin Park, or Butler Point at Chicken Salad Chick.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Anthony. Have you been charged with a crime? You don't have to face it alone. I'm here for you. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me. 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW in the 904.
Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. It's been a few months since they built my custom closet. Even my family is obsessed. And with Father's Day right around the corner, why not surprise Dad with his own custom garage workspace? Tool storage, workbenches, the whole works. Closets by Design creates custom solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. That includes Dad's. Call to schedule your free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
It's Awaken 180 Weight Loss Wednesday
On Jaguars Today.
Got a leaky faucet? AC blowing hot air? A funky smelling septic tank? No worries, Duck Rooter has your back. We're your one-stop shop for plumbing, septic, and air conditioning, so you can stop juggling 3 companies and just make one easy call. Our expert techs are fast, friendly, and really know their ducks. I mean stuff. Call 904-862-6769 or visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, AC, and a whole lot of quacking good service.
Attention golfers, Hidden Hills Golf Club is an attractive destination for golfers all over the Southeast. You too will enjoy our classic Arnold Palmer design that will test your game and keep you coming back. Book a tee time at hiddenhillsgc.com.
Take your shot at the PGA Championship with 1010XL's You Pick'em contest.
All right, boys, let's go do this.
Win $1,000 of jewelry from Beard's Diamonds. Whoa. Opened up by Pella Windows and Doors. Enter at 1010XL.com.
Looking for a fun-filled evening the whole family can enjoy? Discover the thrill of indoor football. A fast-paced, action-packed sport where excitement meets family fun. Check out your hometown Sharks this Saturday, May 17th. Kickoff at 7. Ask about family 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 $10 food vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card. All for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700.
Prosser here, looking for a fun-filled evening that the whole family can enjoy. Our Jacksonville Sharks are back in town this Saturday. Discover the thrill of indoor football. Fast-paced, action-packed sport where excitement meets family fun. This Saturday, May 17th, kickoff 7 o'clock. Ask about our family 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 $10 food vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card. All for only $100. For ticketing, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. Go Sharks! Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather starting to turn for the better, look ahead. Get that backyard ready for spring with a new screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are best in the business. If you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
It's Work Zone Awareness Week, Florida. Every year, lives are lost in work zones because of speeding and distractions. When you see orange cones, remember, slow down, follow the signs, and stay focused. Workers are counting on you to get home safely, and so are their families. Let's work together to prevent crashes and save lives. A safety reminder from the Florida Department of Transportation. Slow your roll. Safety's the goal.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
I was taking a look at this pass rush for your Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags have a good pass rush, Tony. Will the Jags, as presently constituted, have a good pass rush this year?
They got a couple really good pass rushers.
Okay. Way to avoid the question, sir.
I think they'll be no worse than average.
No worse than average.
Yeah.
Okay. Where were they last year, by the way, in terms of sacks? And I know sacks isn't the final be-all, end-all.
Right.
2024 team sacks NFL, Tone. By the way, what were we looking up also? You're looking up.
I'm still working on it.
You're still working on what was it?
It's what team had their leading receiver with the lowest total yards?
Oh yes, that was it. That was it. All right. So are you at a point now you just got to figure it out team by team?
I'm starting that.
All right. He's going through the process. Yeah, we don't always follow up with our bright ideas around these parts. But where did the Jags land last year on the sack list? Can somebody help me out on this one, Dylan Denmark? What do we got here? Why is it so hard to honestly, right? Like NFL team stats, you would think would be one of the easiest things that you could just find. Here we go. Team stats. That's offense. We'll go defense.
The Jags were not in the top 25 in that category.
They were not in the top 25. You found a list of the top 25.
Yeah, Stat Moose.
So Tony, when you say you think they'll be
28th.
no worse than average.
Yeah.
Are you saying 16th, 17th in the league as the floor?
Yeah, which would be essentially that would mean they got about 5 more sacks last year. They would have been middle of the pack.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good way to frame it, right? And it does vary year to year. Like 2 years ago, Philadelphia had the 4 guys that had 10 sacks apiece.
Yeah.
Right? And that's obviously not something you're going to
Generally,
replicate.
you get in that 38 to 40 range. That puts you middle of the pack in the NFL, I believe. So.
All right. So regardless, you think they'll be no worse than kind of average. Is that due to what? New defensive scheme? Continued maturation of Trayvon Walker, bounce back season from Josh Hines-Allen. When I say bounce back, I mean, he went from 17.5 to single digits, right? So there is a discrepancy there. Is it a little of all this combining together?
I think the coverage is going to be significantly better than it was last
Give
year.
you a little more time.
Like that should help that. They can't be any worse, even without changing anything necessarily on their defensive interior, right along that front. They didn't add any bodies necessarily to that, except saying they're actually going to play Eric Armstead there. But it can't be worse, right, as far as what they were going to get out of those guys this year compared to last year, in combination with the defense being changed. And I think Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker are still immensely talented players, right? And I would expect, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they both wind up with double-digit sack seasons. And if you get that kind of, say they average 12 between them.
Right, like they get 25.
Right. Say they do that, so I'm looking for, 13 to 15 sacks from the rest of the football team? It doesn't seem unreasonable.
It doesn't seem right,
especially given
when you put
that
the raw numbers.
Mason Smith basically didn't play until the end of the year, and he still wound up with 3. So if he winds up being like a 6-sack guy, which I don't think is beyond the realm of possibility for him, going into this season, so you got to find 10 sacks on the rest of the roster.
Right.
That's
they couldn't last year.
Right. But it doesn't seem like too much to ask.
Agba has been, he had a couple of years where he's like 9.5 sacks.
He gives you that 5.
But that was that's what he's been. He's been more consistently
that's
a 5,
half of that other
5.5
10,
guy. How much would the addition of Trey Hendrickson go towards making this a more competitive football team? I don't see any way you add Trey Hendrickson and you're worse off. Right?
Definitely
it's just a question of how do you get all these guys utilized?
It's you mentioned in the opening segment, someone looking at it, or did we talk about here, or we talked about that
I think
pre-show?
Before the show.
Where we were talking about someone was doing the NFL draft thing, right?
It was CBS who did imagine the NFL had a draft lottery,
right.
And they took the same, like wherever Dallas was in the NBA lottery, I think San Fran was in the same spot.
Yeah.
So they jumped them up to number 1.
Yeah.
The Jags, Carolina ended up with the 2 pick. Jags ended up with the 3 pick and took Abdul Carter.
And then they were discussing this is how they could use him in all these different. But they move these guys all around. Well, if they bring in Hendrickson, that's the game they're going to have to play.
Obviously,
yeah.
Right? Or do they move them all around? I mean, Trey Hendrickson's going to be. You don't bring in Trey Hendrickson, who has had 35 sacks the last 2 years to make him a part-time guy. He is a full-time defensive end for your football team.
You would think, because if you bring him in, you're going to have to give up whatever you're giving up in the trade and pay him.
Correct.
Right? That's the hurdle. I think both hurdles are likely too high for the Jaguars to actually pull it off, to be all that much in the competition for Trey Hendrickson, because I don't know what the ultimate cost is going to be in the trade. But if it does involve a first-round pick, they don't have one, right? So they'd be out at that point. Then you have to figure out, I don't know what exactly the contract is going to look like for Hendrickson, but they're already paying Josh Hines-Allen, and they're already talking about paying Trayvon.
Right.
Right? So are they willing to add that to? I think if they could get him on a one-year deal, which he wouldn't do, but if they could get him on a one-year deal and say you were going to pay him $33 or whatever for a year and figure it out with all those guys, I think it'd be fun.
I wonder if he would, he said he will not play under the current contract in Cincinnati. Well, this is not Cincinnati. And and he's been given the ability to seek a trade, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder, that might be the one scenario, all right, we've got X amount of cap space. We'll sign you to a 2-year deal. The second year's kind of a dummy year. You're basically going to get 30-something million this year, which is a significant bump from what you were going to get. And you can go hit free agency. Next year, we promise not to franchise tag you. Something along those lines. Like that, I don't know. I mean, I think it's very unrealistic. I'm talking about more the reason we're discussing it, the football fit, right? Yeah. I'm not, though, who's to say, right, Tone, we didn't know that the Jags were going to be willing to give up 36 and their first rounder next year to move up 3 spots to get Travis Hunter, right? And they did. And they want to be bold, and they're not going to be scared, and all these different things. Travis Hunter's a long-term piece of the future on a couple of levels, right? Yeah. You see him as a double starter eventually for this football team at a very high level. Trey Hendrickson would be more of a rental. That seems like, unless you're willing to invest, I think the only way I could see it coming about is if, and I haven't even looked into the salary cap implications of this, but maybe you decide that Josh Hines-Allen on film is not the guy that you think the contract says he is, and that you'd rather then shift that money to Trayvon Walker in the future, Trey Hendrickson, sign him to a 3-4 year deal, and you envision Hendrickson and Walker after 2025 being the pieces. Again, this is pure speculation and how you could get to the headspace where it makes sense, because I think Trayvon Walker has kind of thrived, or starting to thrive, the last couple of years, playing edge, settling into his spot. This is the crazy stuff here. In that scenario, in that story at CBS, where they had a draft lottery situation, they played out, all right, here's how it would have settled out, and here's who everyone would have taken. Carolina had the second pick. They took Hunter, so the Jags took Abdul Carter. And what you were talking about, it said it would allow Carter, Hines-Allen, and Walker to all rotate to different spots along the defensive line for play-to-play. That's a defensive coordinator's dream. Is it? I mean, I get it. People love, we love the flexibility. We can be multiple. We can give you all these different looks. But there's something to be said about, hey, we're rolling our guys out there, and you can't stop them.
Here's our guy. Deal with it.
I mean, what is your base defense then? Is Trayvon your 3 technique? Right. I mean, what is he exactly? Or is Trayvon or Josh Allen now an outside linebacker, and he's got a lot more coverage responsibilities, which would seem to kind of work against what their natural talents are. But this is the one that kills you in this article. And again, all hypothetical. Plus, they say the pick of Carter in this scenario could also be enough motivation to cause Walker to level up his game entering his 4th NFL season. Who are you watching? Who are you watching? Yeah. When you say, do you have any clue what Trayvon Walker has done the last couple of years? We looked it up. There are like 8 or 9 names on the list of guys that have double-digit sacks the last few years. Guys like T.J. Watt and Micah Parsons and Danielle Hunter and Myles Garrett. And, yes, Trayvon Walker. All right, Trayvon and Zach Seiler are probably the 2 most outlier names on there. But Trayvon's a young ascending player. This is what you drafted him to be.
Right.
And he's doing it. And he's a really good run defender. And you're talking about he needs something like that. It could be enough motivation to call. You don't think Trayvon Walker's a motivated player? What are you watching?
Yeah.
The answer is you're not watching Jaguar football.
You're not paying attention.
That's what it comes down to. Like, I don't understand why that's the impression that Trayvon is poorly motivated or he's not on an ascendant path right now.
But it's leading to articles like that and the speculation earlier in this offseason about they could trade him for a third-round pick. Right? Like, it's these absurd ideas that people have about Trayvon Walker.
Jags would probably like to get something back for Trayvon Walker.
And look,
how about 10 sacks? We'd like to get that.
I will admit that after his rookie year, I had those thoughts creeping in my head. I wasn't shy about expressing it.
Well, look at the regime and how many guys they've missed on.
Right. And then I've watched him play the last 2 years. And no, that thought's not in my head. In fact, I'm the one that mentioned 2 months ago. They ought to start working on an extension with him now. Right? Like, I am completely on board for that being how they're going to deal with it, which was when someone brings up, like, they can trade him for a third-round pick. I'm like, they are going, if they could work out an extension in this moment with him, they would. The complication of that is, here's what we're willing to pay now. Trayvon is...
Are you willing to take that
now? Are you willing to take that now? Because you'll get that big chunk right now, that kind of thing. Or he says, you know what, we'll wait a year.
And keep in mind, like, does Trayvon risk losing some future earnings? Sure, but Trayvon Walker at a minimum will make like $20 million, right? On his rookie deal alone.
Right.
I mean...
It's that there are people attached to the NFL in any way that talk about him the way that they do. It's so disconnected with the reality. When we've heard opposing coaches talk about Trayvon the way they do, guys like Tomlin, he's a problem. That's what Tomlin
goes hard on every play.
Right. He's a prop. If he was available, there would be teams lining up to get their hands on Trayvon Walker. It's the way that he's viewed by some is nuts. It's like they're stuck in a time warp from where I kind of was maybe heading 2 years ago.
Right,
it's nuts.
Like, watch the progression of his career, and the idea that you would draft this guy because, man, we feel like the guy we currently have who actually is panning out needs more motivation. Like, that, I mean, is that a nice byproduct of something? Well, anytime you bring in competition, if Trey Hendrickson came here, I would hope Trayvon Walker goes, damn it, it's a fight to get to the quarterback because I got to get mine before that extension talk really hits high gear, right? Sure. I would get that, but I don't think Trayvon's going out there right now going, I can coast, right? I mean, he knows what's coming up, man.
He plays hard, man.
He's right here at the point now where, like you said, worthy, an ascending player, if he got an extension, you wouldn't bat an eye. And part of this, too, this conversation, is the Jags opted to make Gabe Davis a post-June 1st cut. Now, they could have taken that cap hit this year, and they might have even been able to manage it. They would put him at like $7 million under the cap.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got to have a little bit of flexibility because when you sign those guys, middle of the season, Jags lose a few players, so they sign so-and-so. They're getting league minimum. That money does hit the cap. It's not a huge hit, but you have to have some operating capital. But I think, as Tony Baselli, we talked about with him and others, and that they've explained they wanted to keep their financial flexibility just in case, right? Maybe this is more of I'm not even talking about with Trey Hendrickson, like, could the Jags find themselves at 8-3? Or whatever, like they were a couple of years ago, right? When the collapse came, and say, instead of that, we're going to make the push, right? Or whatever. I don't know if that lines up with the trade deadline, but you got the idea. You know what I mean? Like, which disgruntled veteran is available because he's not getting the playing time or his team's not going anywhere, and all of a sudden we're ahead of schedule. And we want to not we've seen it slip away in Jacksonville, although their fingers have not been on it. We've seen 8-3 turn into nothing. Okay, so I think winning the AFC South in the first year of this regime would be a huge statement.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely if they're going to make that kind of move that comes in season, but I can't put anything past the bold new face of the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. I don't think it's at all likely. I don't think that's how they'll use their resources, especially because I think that's one of the strongest positions on the team right now in terms of the individuals they have. Whether Anthony Campanile gets them above league average, we'll find out as we go along. You want to weigh in on that? 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith heading into hour 2. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. I got some delicious items from the Dandy menu. Gonna make your mouth water and just make you hungry, but you know when you swing into an area gate station, you can satisfy that hunger with Dandy, a company based in Jacksonville that makes all their products with the highest quality ingredients they can find, delivers fresh daily around the First Coast to keep them fresh. How about some country sausage biscuits, a perfect twin pack to enjoy or share? 1.5-ounce country sausage patty from Swaggerty, each one the best tasting sausage in the US of A. Meatball subs, they've got those hearty, messy, gooey, and delicious with all the marinara and plenty of cheese on there, and the Boom Boom steak subs as well. Look, I've been vouching for Dandy for over a decade now, and they keep putting out high-quality options for you. I'm always going to be partial to their tuna salad. Try that as well. Wheat or white bread. You're going to love it. Dandy's got great food for on the go. When you're hungry in Duval, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy. Do it today.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Take the straightaway at 200 miles an hour.
He's got him. Oh, there we go.
It's NASCAR's All-Star Race at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Sunday night, NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on Jacksonville's NASCAR station 1010XL.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today, 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save 15% on roof replacements and repairs now through May 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 125-8484.
UniversalRoof.com. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Jaguars Today, Wednesday.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Swing into the hottest party of the summer. Join First Tee Door Florida at the Yards on June 12th for the Summer Soiree Baja Beach Bash. We're bringing the vibrant spirit of Cabo San Lucas to the First Coast for an evening of family-friendly fun. Enjoy live music, craft cocktails, golf games, raffle prizes, and delicious Mexican-inspired cuisine from Taco Lu. Golf, fiesta, and philanthropy, all to support the impactful programs of the First Tee. Visit firstteenorthflorida.org/summer soiree to secure your tickets today.
Grow your hair back. IHRS offers the latest technology in hair transplants and restorative treatments.
Fast, easy, and effective.
With over 35 years experience, our team is committed to delivering exceptional results. Hair restoration is for us, and it can be for you too.
See how IHRS technology can grow your hair back. Go to hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS, 777-4477 for $250 off.
It's back! Mia here. The Summer Starts Here event is hot and going on now at Arlington Toyota. Why should you buy from Arlington? How about over 800 vehicles in one location and 60-day exchange? Buy it, take it home. If it's not right for you, you have 60 days to exchange it. Plus, right now, get financing as low as 0% on select new models. Shop Summer Starts Here at Arlington Toyota. In person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295 or at arlingtontoyota.com.
Mike Dempsey, and now's the time to get your roof hurricane ready with Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacks Beach. Look, our rainy season is no joke, and if your roof's got damage, leaks, or it's just plain worn out, don't wait. Apex is local, dependable, and will show up on time using only premium materials with ironclad warranties. No shortcuts, no stress. Just quality work you can trust. Skip the storm season scramble. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacks Beach or visit apexroofingfl.com.
Hi, folks. It's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee & Kate's Glass. Those beautiful custom glass shower enclosures, maybe a new mirror, a glass tabletop. They can even replace your foggy or cracked glass without having to replace the whole window. Lee & Kate's is local. They're family-owned. They've been a part of our community since 1926. Boy, they've taken care of me, including our brand-new offices at Walk-Off Charities. They did a great job. I promise they'll do the same for you. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it. And send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. ET here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL local sports update brought to you by the First Coast YMCA. The Florida State Seminoles finished the 2024 season with a disappointing season at 2-10. Utilizing the transfer portal during the offseason, the Seminoles look to use their new weapons to get back in contention for the ACC championship. Head coach Mike Norvell spoke on the newcomers at the ACC spring meeting.
In prior years, this year will be in the lower 40s. It's still significant, but it's been significant over the years, and we've seen that great dividends, in teams that we've been able to put out there. And obviously, we saw this last year. There's some challenges that were. I'm really excited about the newcomers that are joining. And we got some guys that I absolutely know are going to help this football team win games this fall. Obviously with the transfers that are coming in, I think that we'll be able to have a few of these guys have a chance to be difference makers for us.
The Noles will kick off the season August 30th against the Alabama Crimson Tide at home. It's 80 degrees at 11 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark moving along here. Jaguars Today. Schedule will come out tonight, and tomorrow we'll all make fools of ourselves as we go win, loss, win, loss, win, whatever. But we'll do our own schedule release video. 1010XL will have a bunch of these that they put out on social media tomorrow. So Tony and I will fire up the brain cell and make our predictions. And we'll see how that all pans out. Are you involved in this procedure, Denmark, at all?
I don't think I am.
You should be, man. We need some West Side knowledge on this one. I think that would be good.
I'll check with the authorities.
All right. Do that. I would enjoy that. All right. Let's see here. Tony Smith, what did you dig up in terms of teams receiving yardage leaders? We talked about 750, the barrier. 48 guys were above that. Or no, 50. Was it 48 last year that were above that?
48 and 43 the last 2 years.
Okay, so 48 is basically 1.5 per team. So we question, were any teams receiving yardage leaders held under 750 yards? What did you come up with?
I found 7 teams whose receiving leader was at 857 or lower.
Okay.
Last year, 3 of those 7 teams wound up making the playoffs last season. Also interesting.
Kansas City, we know, was in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Who else?
Kelsey led them with 823 yards last year. It's also interesting 3 of the 7 are tight ends that led their team last year in these low marks. Green Bay had 857 from Jaden Reed.
That makes, I mean, they spread it around so much. What about we have to call Jaden Reed to assuage his fears that you're still the number one with your 850 yards?
Silly.
Because we drafted Matthew Golden. Okay.
Indianapolis led by Alec Pierce with 824. Buffalo.
And Indy, hold on. Indy's another one of those teams. Pittman's been injured, right? Josh Downs gets in and out of the lineup. They drafted Adonai Mitchell, so it was like chopped up between a whole bunch of guys.
No doubt. Buffalo led by Khalil Shakir with 821.
Okay, and he's not a super dynamic guy. He's just the best of an average bunch, and he got that nice contract out of it. Keon Coleman wasn't ready for prime time yet. All right.
You can probably guess the bottom 3 teams in this. Carolina's in there.
Okay. Let's see. Cleveland had Judy come on in the second half of the year. Were they in there? Or they?
No.
Okay, because Judy.
He had 1,000, I think,
ended
last
up.
year.
What did Ridley do last year? He's probably
had
over
1,000.
that. Okay. All right, just go ahead
Tennessee
and
was
tell me.
interesting because Ridley had that. And I think second on their team was like 405.
Right, but it's probably Nick Westbrook-Akina who's probably scored like 9 or 10 touchdowns.
A big gap. But New England was third on the list.
Okay,
Hunter Henry was 674.
Arizona, maybe?
No, Arizona had two guys that were in the 800s or above because Marvin Harrison
And
Jr. got
McBride.
there too. Yeah. And Carolina with Adam Thielen, 615.
615.
615. Lowest in the league, New Orleans. Jawan Johnson, 548.
Well, Olave got hurt.
No doubt.
Rashid Shaheed got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, and their quarterbacks all got hurt.
It was interesting, too. Tampa, and that's the injury thing there, too, because Godwin was certainly looking like he was going to have a monster year.
He was having a monster year, yeah.
Before the injury came, and he wound up just under 600, I think like 548 or something on the
in
year.
like 6 games.
Yeah, wherever it was on the year. Mike Evans was their only 1,000-yard receiver, and second on the team was somewhere around like the 700-yard mark. It was something, it might have been Otten, I think, that wound up second on the team, but it was as effective as their offense was. Even when Godwin was gone, they had the one guy, and Mike Evans just barely got over that 1,000-yard mark.
If Godwin's healthy, Godwin's probably 1,500 yards last year. The pace he was on, and Evans still gets his 1,000 because it's very important to the franchise.
And that's the case with a bunch of the teams that we just mentioned on that 7. So it's not the number here isn't exact. I think the bottom 3 are the bottom 3 for a reason. They just had no juice. Once the injury
Thielen
happened
was
with
really
Olave,
quiet for like the early part of the year, I think.
He was. And then Dalton came in the lineup and he blew up for a few weeks. And then, everything that happened there, it did. Like the back half of the year, Thielen wasn't what he was in the middle of the year, that kind of thing. But, Carolina and New England being there, that's not due to injuries to a bunch of people. That's due to they got no juice.
Yeah, New England had nothing. And they spent multiple picks. Jalen Polk and Javon Baker last year. Is Javon Baker going to be anything in the end? Like, he was a 4th-round pick last year out of UCF. I know a lot of Jaguar fans liked him last year. It was much discussed throughout the draft process, but 615 to lead your team. And again, though, Baker in Tampa threw for 4,500 yards. Yeah. So they got it done. It just wasn't, and it would have been through 2 guys, the big chunk, but one of those big guys got hurt. And so it's understandable, right? But the pace that they were on would have put them probably combined 2,500 yards.
Well, and I mentioned Tennessee, where Ridley did what Ridley did, and then there's the big gap to the next guy on the roster. Jacksonville was identical, almost, except Brian Thomas Jr. is way better than even Ridley was last year. But BTJ led the team with 1,282. Second on the team in receiving yards last year, Brenton Strange with 411. Right? Like it's an 800-yard gap to number 2 on that list. Parker Washington third with 390. Christian Kirk with 379. Evan Ingram in the top 5 with 365 last year. Like they just had no punch.
All right, you guys want a little rare Jaguars Today pop quiz?
Sure.
Action. What do we got, Dylan? A little musical interlude for this one. I know we got a little special. We don't do this very often. That's why he doesn't have it at his fingertip. There we go.
What you got?
I want to hear our pop quiz music first. Pop quiz. Yeah, see right there. There, the pop quiz. All right. This was going into last year. All right. This is the list that came up. So if it's changed since last year, apologies. I need every team's receiving yardage leader. Okay, I'm going to go. You and Dylan can collaborate. You got about 5 seconds to come up with the receiving yardage leader for each team. Okay. Who's the all-time receiving leader for the Arizona Cardinals? Fitzgerald. Boom. All right. First one who mentions the name. If it seems like you guys are discussing it, I'll let it slide. What about the Raiders? I don't know what order these are listed in.
Tim Brown?
By the way, Tim Brown. 100% Tim Brown. The Indianapolis/Baltimore Colts. Marvin Harrison. Thank you very much. The LA/St. Louis Rams.
Bruce.
Isaac Bruce.
Isaac Bruce is indeed correct. Over Torrey Holt, I would imagine. Houston Texans.
Andre Johnson.
Buffalo Bills. Andre Reed. There you go. Don't second guess yourself. Seattle Seahawks. I don't know if Dylan would get this one.
70s.
Yeah, 80s, more 80s. You know
Name's
him.
not coming to me.
Congressman, right? Didn't he become a congressman? Should I give it to you?
Yes.
Steve Largent.
Yep.
Come on.
Dang it.
Dallas Cowboys.
Michael Irvin? I don't think it's him. I don't think it's Michael Irvin.
And I won't take that as a guess.
Jason Witten.
Jason Witten is correct.
Wow.
San Francisco 49ers.
Well, Jerry.
I had to ask, Don't. Come on. I guess I should ask that one first. I think these are now in descending order of the yardage total for each of these guys. Where are we at? Largent, Cowboys. Give me the Minnesota Vikings, please.
Randy Moss?
No, Chris.
Chris Carter, I'm taking Randy Moss as your official guess at a strike one. That seemed like the official guess. 12,383, so he did catch more than just touchdowns. Your Jacksonville Jaguars, James Smith.
Yeah.
Jimmy Smooth. Give me the Carolina Panthers.
Steve Smith.
Of course. Atlanta Falcons. Julio. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Heinz
Ward.
Did he wind up there?
I'm giving it to you. Yep, Heinz Ward. Washington.
Art Monk.
Art Monk is indeed correct. The Chargers, all-time yardage leader in receiving.
Gates.
That's correct.
Nice pull.
New York Jets.
Oh, God.
Hey.
Dylan's never heard of this guy. Guaranteed Dylan's never heard of this guy. Okay.
I looked at this not long ago. I feel like
It ain't Al Toon.
No.
It's not Wesley Walker.
Don Maynard.
It is Don Maynard. Tony Smith.
I've never gotten that.
Tony is clutch at these, bro. Take Tony to like a trivia night. He'll kill it on the NFL. Give me Detroit Lions.
Calvin Johnson.
Yes, sir. Denver Broncos.
Rod Smith.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Kelsey.
Probably over Gonzalez, I'm guessing. Bengals. Shooby-dooby-doo-up. Who you got?
I don't think
I feel
he's
like there's somebody from the
caught
80s.
him yet. So
I'm not gonna.
because I don't think Jamar has caught him yet, but he will. Ocho Cinco.
Ocho. Give me the Bucks.
Mike
Mike Evans. Give me the Patriots.
Who played there the longest?
Doesn't matter who had the most yards. Who you got?
Gronk.
Okay, that's interesting. I think Gronk's like around 8,000, maybe. It was over 10,000 for this guy.
The Patriots, I don't know.
Stanley Morgan played for him from 77 through 89. Give me the Green Bay Packers.
Ooh.
Sharp.
Pop, shoe up.
I don't think Sharp is towards there. But I would.
Pop, shoe up.
Given the
fact I haven't said yes to Sharp,
Yeah.
it's probably
not going to be it.
era, I would. Him or him, Tony. Him or him.
Who are the two hymns you're discussing?
Greg Jennings and Donald Driver. I'll go with Driver.
Driver it is. New Orleans Saints.
That's another one of those. We're getting the no man's land here.
Michael Thomas. That's not it.
I wonder how close he got.
Yeah.
Not him.
No idea.
Tony knows this. Marcus Colston. I knew it. Once I told Tony he knew it, I knew he'd get it. Give me the New York Giants, Tony. Monty. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles. Jacksonville's own.
Oh, Harold Carmichael.
Harold Carmichael, you're welcome. Give me the Dolphins.
Who is Marino's go-to guy?
Got a couple of them.
Yeah.
I'd go with Duper.
You going with Duper, Dylan?
Sure.
Good choice. Mark Duper over Mark Clayton. Give me the Browns.
Oh.
Now we're under 8,000 yards.
Yeah.
What do we get to the Bears? They've never had a
I know
4,000-yard
the Bears is a tight end from the 50s. I know that.
Bears,
you mean Ditka?
Their history is awful.
No, it's before Ditka.
Pre-Ditka?
Oh, it is.
Their history at receiver and quarterback up there is miserable.
Pop quiz. Who you got for the Browns?
One of those guys.
Great general manager. Pop quiz.
Ozzie Newsome.
Ozzie Newsome.
Oh my gosh.
79.80 is the yardage total. Give me the Titans/Oilers.
Titans/Oilers. Is it from the Oilers or the Titans era?
Titans/Oilers era.
You play for both?
No, I'm just saying. I'm not giving you everything. Come on. It's an Oiler.
Who played with Warren Moon?
Yeah, he did play with Warren Moon. Correct.
Tony, help me out here.
Come on, Tony. Pop music.
What is his name?
Ernest Givens. Got to move on.
Yeah, I was thinking an E.
Baltimore Ravens.
Derek Mason.
With 5,777 yards. Derek Mason. Chicago Bears.
Oh, God.
Dig deep now. 5,059 yards.
Oh.
Taylor Dahl has some explaining to do.
And it's not Ditka?
It's not Ditka.
He's from the 50s or early 60s.
This picture
I've
would
seen
jive
this
with
name,
that.
But I forget who it is. It's a tight end.
Last one on the list.
I do not know.
For all the marbles.
I do not know.
For all the
Come on,
marbles
please.
and a guaranteed 3-year deal on Jaguars Today. Which is not in my power to grant. That'd be Johnny Morris.
Oh, yeah. Good old
From
Johnny
58
Morris.
He played from 58 to 67. 5,059 yards. Wow. I mean,
how many players in Jaguars?
Brian Thomas Jr. going to pass that in his rookie deal, right? On his rookie contract, he's going to fly by that in his rookie deal. That's unbelievable. All right, there you go. Jaguars Today pop quiz action. We'll come back. We'll go around the league. We've got today's question of the day to get to, presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. Primetime speculation. How many primetime games will the opponents be? What platforms will they appear on for the Jacksonville Jaguars? What do you got?
Jimmy or Keenan would be the Bears' all-time leading receiver.
Well, Jimmy would be a lot of teams' all-time leading receiver.
But Keenan with his 63.93 would be the Bears.
Who's next after Keenan? Would give me a yardage total.
Mercedes Lewis with 45.02.
So Mercedes would be threatening to be the all-time yardage receiver in Bears history. Yeah. They've only been around, though, for a century. So, I mean, what can you expect, right? No, over all that time for them to ever hit a stride like Willie Gault, somebody. Come on, man. Will DJ Moore be there long enough? Will he last there beyond this year now that they got a Dunze and Luther Burden, right? Yeah. I don't know if he will.
Who knows? Yeah.
I don't know if he will. All right. Which Bear will be the next one to pass 5,000 yards? All right. Let's come back. More to do here, including speculation about the primetime schedule for the Jags. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. If you're wondering if it's possible to find sports talk radio made for Jacksonville other than 1010XL, good luck. 1010XL.
That is beautiful.
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Need fresh and flavorful lunch? Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad in every bite. It's quick and delicious, so why wait? Come taste the best chicken salad today at Town Center, Durbin Park, or Butler Point at Chicken Salad Chick.
This Saturday, Navy Mutual would like to salute all men and women that serve in our armed forces. In 1949, President Truman designated the third Saturday in May as Armed Forces Day due to the unification of all 5 branches of our military into the Department of Defense.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
Hey, Hicken here. So much of what makes us a family takes place in our homes. That's where Zero Res comes in. I love Zero Res, and this month get Zero Resified from Jacksonville's #1 carpet and air duct cleaner with May Mayhem. A 3-room special starting at $149 plus the 4th room is free. You owe it to yourself and your family to breathe healthy, happy, and clean. Call Zero Res 28757 or go online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and say you want the Hicken special. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
It's It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
Hacker here, taking you back exactly 1 year this week. I was only 9 weeks into Awaken 180 and had already dropped 54 pounds. Seriously, that's like shedding a first grader in just over 2 months. That's wild, right? Fast forward to today, 2 months into my maintenance, and I'm still down over 115 pounds. Not a pound put back on. It's like Awaken 180 gave my weight a permanent eviction notice. Now listen up. We all want to have goals, but sometimes they seem to be far-fetched. This one won't be. Dropping 40 pounds by the 4th with Awaken 180. It's doable when you have a proven program with an excellent coach by your side. Weekly weight loss, enjoying the ride, and reaching your goal. We all did it. No reason you can't. Set your goal, make the call, and reach 40 by the 4th with the solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800.
Plumbing problems? AC not blowing? Septic tank doing whatever septic tanks do? Don't call 3 different companies and play contractor roulette. Just call DuckDuckRooter. Waddle over to DuckDuckRooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
When you want to be heard, send your opinion to the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
Thank you for believing in me when the bosses didn't give me a chance.
641-1010. No texting and driving. Get your thoughts heard on 1010XL.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
2 classic albums, 1 night of hits. Styx presents The Grand Illusion. Kevin Cronin Band presents REO Speedwagon's High Infidelity. June 2nd, Daly's Place. Brotherhood of Rock Tour. Plus Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. 2 classic albums in their entirety. Styx, The Grand Illusion, REO Speedwagons, High Infidelity. Don't miss the event of the summer.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power Charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Jacksonville Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coating, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, I'm not the quickest on the uptake, I'll admit. What are we doing here?
Elvis.
Just Elvis?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know why I don't have.
Donna Murphy's happy somewhere. Hello, Murph. Big fan of Elvis. All right, didn't know if there was a message in there. We're happy with all the picks, right? We're not sending any back yet at this point in time?
Not yet.
We're good on that?
Yeah.
All right. I heard the ladies on Helmets and Heels talking yesterday. Could Jack Kaiser be a surprise starter for this football team? Also saw, everyone wants to speculate on the trade stuff, right? Like we talked about, Trayvon Walker, we get him for a third, man. Wouldn't that look good? Yeah, it would. I mean, you absurd lunatics.
Yeah.
But Cleveland, the rumored, speculated move, Devin Lloyd to Cleveland. Or, alternately, maybe Chad Muma to Cleveland. Losing Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Yeah.
Mouthful.
Yeah.
They call him Mouthful. But, and may never play again.
May not.
Is what some are saying.
Terrible injury.
Coming out of Cleveland. Yeah. I mean, he was starting to come into his own as well. Obviously, they drafted Carson Schlesinger, but there's some stopgap players on that team.
For sure.
I don't know, man. Like, I can't sit here, as Tony Baselli said, we sat back and we heard everybody guessing what we're going to do, and we're just kind of laughing. And we don't know, right? I mean, that's fine. I'm not going to pretend to tell you that how they feel about Devin Lloyd. I have no idea how they feel about Devin Lloyd. Maybe they feel like, hey, you know what? No fifth-year option safety blanket. He's going to ball out, Tone, and maybe a key part of our future still. Or maybe they look at it and they say, you know what? Got Foye, got Kaiser coming up. We got Chad Muma. We got Ventrell. We've watched the film on these guys. We think they can give us what Devin Lloyd does, and he could become expendable.
My guess is they would be open to all those options, right? Like, I don't think they necessarily have to have a solid idea of what Devin Lloyd is
today,
going into any of this at any point. And that means that if the right offer was made, for one of those guys, him or Muma, that I think they'd be willing to move one or the other of them, right? I don't think that they would say no on the face of it. I think that those kind of situations are, because someone asked again yesterday on the text line about specifically ETN and how long are they going to keep him on the roster, if Tutin's going to be the guy, like all these different kinds of things. If that's a decision they make at some point in time, that we want to kind of run the run game through Tutin, right? How long are they going to keep ETN on the roster? And the answer to that in my mind is until you have a value of what you need to get back for him, if you're going to trade him, whatever that value is. Say it's a 5th round pick, right? Like, say that's where you would, we got to get a 5th round pick back for him to feel good about making the trade. Then the situation would have to arise where someone would be willing to give you the 5th round pick, because you're deciding on that trade value as if we're not getting that back for him, he's worth more to us here than the 6th rounder we would get coming back.
Yes.
Right? Like, that's the decision that you've already made.
And that is something it's hard to quantify, right? What is a year's worth of service worth to you as you're trying to accomplish goals in terms of winning X amount of football games, right? Even if he's not part of your long-term future, you do want to win right now.
Absolutely.
And yes, we love the picks and we'll take another 6th or whatever, but does that move the dial and move the needle enough for you?
And I think they're in a position right now, specifically with someone like ETN, say that the 5th was what they wanted, right, for ETN, and someone was willing to give him a 7th round pick right now. They say, he's on the roster.
Yeah.
We're good with him being on the roster. Now, the situation can change if someone loses a running back somewhere in the league, especially a team that's in competing, right? That can change that math, but that would be what would have to happen to make that kind of thing happen. I think Lloyd is a fine football player, right? Like, he's a good football player, and I think that he could go somewhere else where maybe the opportunity is given to him, and he does feel like a guy to me that could wind up playing 7-8 years in the league, right? Like, that wouldn't surprise me at all, if not beyond that. Like, 2nd, even pushing into his 3rd contract at some point. He strikes me as that kind of player. I think it's hard to imagine that this is going to be the place where that's going to happen for him, given the way everything feels for him in Jacksonville right now. So whatever that number is in their head, and maybe with Lloyd, that's a 5th or 6th round pick as well. If they got offered that, I think they'd move on.
Well, and the difference between he and Etienne's deal fully guaranteed, right? So you're going to, if you just like move on from Travis Etienne, I find it hard to believe they're just going to cut him, right? And pay him the money anyway. Why not have him on the team? The circumstance you're talking about, does the guy get hurt? And do they decide, well, whatever we put together, we thought this was going to be a good backfield. Maybe it's not panning out that way. You look at Devin Lloyd. If you traded him pre-June 1st, you'd save about $2.5 million against the cap here. It doesn't change post-June 1st versus pre-June 1st. And just, another one of those speculative things that I noticed out there.
Sure.
So I tell you what, before we get into schedule predictions, why don't we take a quick look around the rest of the NFL?
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Cincinnati edge rusher Trey Hendrickson was at the Bengals facility yesterday, but reportedly not to participate in the team's offseason program. Hendrickson, who is set to make a base salary of $15.8 million this season on the final year of his current deal, did tell the media that he would not play this season on that current contract. He has had 17.5 sacks each of the last 2 seasons and made a Pro Bowl in all 4 of his seasons there in Cincinnati. Seattle hosted free agent corner Rasul Douglas for a visit yesterday. Also saw that Miami has talked to Douglas as well. And the New York Jets are releasing 39-year-old punter Thomas Morstead.
Yeah, I saw that. He was like, oh, man, wasn't happy the way it went down. That's the league. That is the league, man. You know what? Time to go. Like Trey Hendrickson, like, oh, we love you, Trey. We're going to get a new deal done with you. If you don't show up to minicamp, we're going to start taking your money away from you. Life comes at you fast. By the way, Devin Lloyd, super affordable. Devin Lloyd only accounts for 1.4% of the Jaguars' salary cap. He's making less than Emmanuel Ogbah will this year. So if you see him as a guy that can be a key part of your linebacking core, there's no harm in just playing it out with him and seeing how it goes.
I think it's similar, but not the same as the Trayvon Walker thing we were talking about, where there's people out there that are like, send a 3rd-round pick. They're looking to get rid of him, right? Like, he can find Lee Bloom going into this season. Like, people that are talking about him that way, it's like y'all just don't see what's happening. I think we sometimes here locally get lost in the weeds a little bit with Lloyd specifically because he's not bad. There's some things in his game that he's not very good at, right? Like, you can't ask him to read complex coverage and change everything on the fly. That is obviously not something that he's very skilled at doing at this point in his career. So you don't put him in those positions. You find something else that you can ask him to do, but athletically, he's great. When he hits somebody, they hit the ground, right? Like, there are things that you still really like about Devin Lloyd. There are skills that haven't developed for him, which is frustrating. So you look at him and say he wasn't worth trading up in a 1st-round pick. Agreed. Right? Like, whatever you thought you were getting in that specific situation, he hasn't lived up to that. That doesn't make him bad. It just makes him having fallen short of what the expectations were when they get here. We're far enough into it. You got to change your expectations to what the reality is on the ground with him. You got to get what you can get out of him because he's here.
Right. And look, it's a fresh set of eyes with the coaching staff, and maybe they see a different way to use him, or they see ways that coach up his technique and make him a better coverage guy, or utilize him a little bit more. I think
he's fine
a pass
in man
rusher.
Coverage. He's bad when he's got to switch.
You wait one year, somewhere in the future, Devin Lloyd will be playing for somebody else. It'll be 4 years from now, and he'll have 5 sacks, and someone will go, see, I told you. Should have been a 3rd pass rusher all those years. All right, let's come back and let's get to today's question of the day, schedule predictions for primetime games for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll do that when we return in just a moment and put a bow on Jaguars Today here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Pella Windows and Doors, the best in the business. So say Consumer Reports, rating Pella #1 in all the major window categories. Now is the right time to upgrade your home just like I did. You get 0% financing for the next 60 months. That's 60 months, 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. You can schedule a free consultation by going online to PellaJacks.com or just stop by their showroom. Super friendly, super knowledgeable. They're right there on Phillips Highway, north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday
on Jaguars Today.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Your front row seat to history in the making.
The Florida Gators, they are
the 2025 national champions. Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
DUI, BUI, don't stress. Call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW for Malcolm Anthony.
Jaguars Today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Are you struggling with hair loss? At IHRS, we understand because we've been there too. We're dedicated to finding the best solution tailored just for you.
My hair looks great. It was thinning, and IHRS restored my hair.
It's now fuller, it's thicker, voluminous. It's made me feel great.
With the latest technology and FDA-approved laser therapy, PRP, and non-surgical hair addition, we offer guaranteed solutions for men and women.
With over 35 years of experience, IHRS found a hair restoration for us, and we can find one for you.
For me.
For me.
And me too.
Visit hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS. Get a free microscopic analysis and get to the root of your problem. This $395 analysis is yours for free. Call 904-777-4477 now.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
She's very comfortable talking sports and hanging out with the boys.
Mia O'Brien here, still providing the best multimedia sports coverage in Northeast Florida on 1010XL radio, video, and social channels.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
Summer in Jacksonville. Sun's out, flip-flops on, and whoa! Well, there goes Uncle Bob into the pool again. Protect your pool deck with Don't Slip Deck Coatings of Jacksonville. Their multi-layered slip-resistant coatings keep you on your feet, not on your backside. Durable, stylish, and way cheaper than an ER visit. Don't Slip Deck Coatings even has indoor options so your kitchen floor isn't a skating rink. Call 904-466-1839 for a free quote and follow Don't Slip Jacks on Facebook and Instagram.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner. With honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
What is the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The coldest temperature ever recorded was in Antarctica in July of 1983. An unbelievably cold minus 128.6 degrees.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
It's the perfect day. You're just driving along, listening to your favorite music, the windows down. There's a cool breeze. Life is good. But wait, hold on a second. You're not wearing a seatbelt? You'd better put that on before that... Uh-oh, too late. Cops everywhere are stepping up enforcement, so you'd better buckle up or you will get caught. Sorry to ruin your day. Click it or ticket.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web. Precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, schedule out tonight. Tomorrow we'll break it all down and ask you what you think the Jags record will be based on the schedule. Win-loss, win-loss. It's a kind of a silly exercise, but it's what we'll do because it seems like an annual tradition. And there is something to knowing when the games are going to fall and the flow of the season and breaking it down by month and all that stuff. And I hope the reports are right and they do open with Carolina. Take advantage, get to 1-0, and let's get rolling. Then let's get some of the, like you said, let's get Indy and Tennessee early in the season as well, Tony. All right, let's discuss today's speculative primetime schedule for the Jaguars with today's 10-10 take.
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
All right, look, when I say there are plenty of people out there not worth following, they're just going to throw stuff at the wall. Some of it sticks. Then when it doesn't, they delete what they said. Like Dilla's not in that category. Everybody knows, Jag fans know Dilla, right? He's got some good intel. So, and I know he's saying 3 primetime games. I think he's saying a Thursday, a Sunday, and a Monday nighter. Coming in, my own feeling about that, and he may be right. Like I don't try to suss that out. It doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna know in 12 hours,
sure,
or less than 12 hours.
8.
Exactly. What? Exactly. Will it be less than 8, or when does it come out? 8 o'clock tonight?
Yeah, 8
so
o'clock.
9 hours from now, we'll know what the Jags schedule is, right? And if you got to know ahead of time, I get it. People want to know immediately. I don't mind the speculation game. It's fun. It's just the accounts that just make things up out of whole cloth for the clicks that drive you absolutely crazy. But so for me personally, Tony, I would have predicted a 1-1, a Thursday and a Monday nighter, not a Sunday nighter for this team. But who's to say? You look at the obvious one, the Tennessee Titans. They put them a bunch on Thursday night. But this year, the cachet of that is Cam Ward, number 1 pick, Travis Hunter, number 2 pick, going head to head. I think you could sell that early enough in the season as an intriguing up and coming matchup. Now, that's the key. When does that fall on the schedule? You do that in week 12. And if one or both of those teams don't have good records, it's not going to be nearly as attractive. So I would think it would fall somewhere early-ish in the season. If they're going to do that, that would be my guess on that. And then I would say, all right, if you're doing in the division on Thursday night, I don't think the Monday nighter will be in the division. We've done Cincinnati on Monday night before, but I could see the Burrow-Trevor Lawrence thing kind of bringing that back, played again, for a championship in college, went Burrow's way. Obviously the Jags, that's where Trevor Lawrence got hurt a couple of years ago in a Monday night game. So I guess I would give that for the Monday night prediction. And me personally, and again, not trying to steer you in any direction here, just my own guess that they would not be on Sunday Night Football. I may be wrong about that. So I'll go with Tennessee and Cincinnati on a Thursday and a Monday. What do you got?
Yeah, I think Tennessee on a Thursday is a pretty good bet, right?
It's been a traditional pretty good bet.
It has, and I do think the Ward-Hunter thing makes that not unlikely.
Sure.
That it would land on that kind of thing, and virtually everyone gets that Thursday night game at this point anyway, and that makes sense to me, right? Whether that be here or up in Nashville, I don't know. But I think it makes sense for one of those matchups to be on Thursday Night Football. I'll say, again, Dilla is earned enough confidence with the way that he's predicted these things before that if he says Kansas City on Monday night,
I don't think he's saying that, Dylan, is he?
Yeah,
I haven't. He is okay.
He is?
He's saying week 5, Kansas City here on Monday night.
Okay, because I asked Dylan about that. He thought he saw that from somebody else.
He didn't say it specifically like that, but that's what it's reading is not only Monday night, Kansas City, but week 5 is where he's got it on the schedule. We'll see how right or wrong he is about that. But that makes sense to me, right? When you look at the matchups the Jaguars have, the only other two that I think have any kind of anything when it comes to thinking about it in primetime at all, Cincinnati makes a little bit of sense, right? The only other one is the Chargers would make a little bit of sense. That's a playoff team. It's the Herbert Lawrence thing, has some juice to it. But I look at both those matchups and I don't see Sunday Night Football in either one of them. I think Jacksonville Cleveland has more of that Sunday night kind of feel to it to me than certainly Jacksonville and the Chargers would. But I think likely it's going to wind up being one Thursday game against the Titans and that Monday night game against the Chiefs at some point, and that will be the primetime thing. And, you know, even with Dilla putting it out there that he's saying a Sunday night, I just look at it, I don't see Sunday night. That'd be awesome if they find a way to land on that somewhere with one of these opponents, but I don't look at any of the other matchups and see that Sunday Night Football is the game of the week. Like, that is the premier matchup of the week, and I don't read that into any of the other matchups potentially for this team.
If the Tampa Bay Bucs are on the schedule, I could absolutely see that, right? Because then you can lean into the whole narrative of Liam Cohen leaving the team, the way it went down, going up against his former Chargers in his first year in Jacksonville. Travis Hunter is going to be a sellable, a piece. Why would we want the Jaguars on primetime? Well, we got Travis Hunter to check out. Not that watching Brian Thomas Jr. or some of the other players wouldn't be a draw, but I mean, Travis Hunter is going to be. I saw somebody say, well, how long will it be before Travis Hunter's most popular player in Jaguar history? Will it be by the end of this year?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak for what people are going to feel, but man, I would hope that, Freddie T, Tony Pacelli, Maurice Jones-Drew have put in some work for this organization over the years that, they'd still hold a high place on the pedestal.
And for whatever it's worth, Dilla, if you go to his account there on X right now, he is just putting up like team logos or mascots or a player or something. But he has put kind of in order a prediction for the first 5 games on the schedule. His prediction, Carolina, which we've all heard, week 1. We'll see if that gets confirmed or not. Cincinnati, week 2. Houston, week 3. It doesn't say home or away on that. San Francisco, week 4. And then week 5, Monday night against Kansas City. That's what he's putting out there. I don't know what he knows or who he knows, but that's what he's putting
Cincy's a road game, right?
I believe.
Cincy and San Fran are road games, so that would make sense that Houston would be here in Jacksonville then. Yeah. You wouldn't think they'd go home opener 3 straight on the road.
Probably not.
We'll see. All right. Hey, look, honestly, it's one of the least important questions we ask all year. Yeah. But it's fun to see where people's heads are at. Dr. Cliff, you said that the London game will be the only, in quotes, primetime game, meaning standalone
It'll be only
game.
one played, yeah.
Obviously not in primetime, but I think it's pretty clear that that's not going to be the case at this point in time. We'll find out tonight.
We will.
We'll break it all down tomorrow to absurd levels.
I did look at, with Carolina being rumored to be the season opener and at home for the Jaguars, that would be the 6th time in franchise history they play an NFC team to open the season here in Jacksonville. They are 3-2 in those previous matchups, but they haven't won such a matchup since 2006. Right, they won in 99 against San Francisco, Seattle in 05, Dallas in 2006. They've lost the last 2 home openers against an NFC team, including in 2015 against the Carolina Panthers.
Well, they haven't opened at home since 2020.
Yeah.
I think. So that would be, in and of itself, a little bit of a first for
sure.
a while. All right. Hey, we'll find out about it tonight, but still plenty of time to speculate on what's going down, and they can do that on Helmets and Heels.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
I mean, what will the speculation lend itself towards? What topics and conversations will you be having on Helmets and Heels today?
Well, I know I probably threw you for a loop / spooked you a bit when I walked into the studio earlier with additional camera gear. We have a very special guest joining us, semi-related to the schedule release, semi-independent of that. Mayor Donna Deegan will join us in studio at 12:35 p.m.
Cool.
And so we will discuss stadium, the very latest when it comes to construction downtown, what is next for the stadium of the future, as well as maybe if she's got some scoops as far as what teams and when they are coming to Duval County.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the mayor gets looped in on that, but we'll certainly be listening. I mean, honestly, the whole thing is like, wait 8 hours. Yeah. We're going to know.
Yeah. Did you guys listen to Peter King? Sorry to cut you off, Tony. Did you listen to Peter King on Deitch's podcast, on the Sports Media Pod?
No.
Peter King was like, I think schedule release is like the dumbest. Dumbest
like
thing
I would want to know from the mayor, will there be extra security if Kansas City's here on Monday night for the family of the Chiefs quarterback? Considering they get a little rowdy.
Oh, I thought you meant for the Kansas City Chiefs tight end's girlfriend.
No. I'm sure she'll bring her own security. She can handle her own end of that.
Her we're not worried about, but do we need additional JSO?
What about that gorilla suit guy? Oh, yeah, just get another 14 years in prison.
Yeah, he'll be,
Sorry, classy Kansas City fans.
Yes.
I only bring that up because Brittany Mahomes trashed the Jaguar fan base as being basically uncivilized heathens a few years ago. And, just like to point out, there are uncivilized heathens all across this great country of ours.
Yes, there are indeed.
All right, we'll have a great show. We'll be listening.
Thank you. Yep.
Mayor Donna Deegan coming your way on Helmets and Heels. Coming up next.
I didn't even think about the Taylor Swift angle. That's how disconnected I am to all of that.
Yeah. We'll Jacksonville be a tour stop.
Do you
live on Earth?
I know. Like, I didn't even think about it. It's like, oh, yeah, I guess they are.
Tony's thinking, man, we got Andy Reid here? Wow, this is going to be awesome. Andy Reid's coming to town. Oh, that's going to be phenomenal. All right, that'll do it for us today. Hope you enjoy or take note of the schedule.
Whatever you do to celebrate
whatever
the
you
schedule,
do, enjoy it. Have a great day.
It has begun.
Well done, sir. You don't get a whole lot of Tony doing hacker on the program, but well played. All right, for Tony Smith, for Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Thanks for tuning in and hanging with Jaguars Today. We'll be back to break down the actual schedule tomorrow and a lot more on Jaguars Today from 10 to noon here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.